fire. We're on fire.
I'm Staff Sergeant Bailey. This is our 14th annual TACP Memorial Run. We're out here for 24 hours straight to bring awareness to the TACP Foundation. We do 24 straight hours of raising awareness to do remembrance, honor, and thrive, which is the three pieces to the motto of the TACP Foundation. We remember those before us. We honor the 13 members that gave the ultimate sacrifice within the TACP community, and we thrive by just coming out here and absolutely crushing miles for 24 straight hours. We have a flag that goes around nonstop, and the whole time we're raising funds, doing a fundraiser to give back to the TACP Foundation that gives back to Gold Star families and raises awareness for our community in general. Yeah, we had about 4 or 5 different food trucks and food vendors that came out, and they dedicated their time to come out here and support this event, which was really awesome. We had Bondi Bowls, Neighbors Mobile Coffee, we had Smashin' Beef, Tacos Azteca. Tomorrow we'll have Parlor Donuts, and today we also had TPAT. Yeah, so they all came out, showed awesome support by being here for a long time to support this long event. We also had the USO donate a bunch of stuff, a member from State Farm Insurance Company, and Total Nutrition Shop. They also donated a bunch of items. And then I just want to give a huge shout out to the 19th ASOS for crushing it, putting this together. They do a good job every year, and this is a great event. So.
Please don't bury us. I've got you. I've got you. Running, 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 and running for myself no more. I'm ready to face it all. I ain't running, 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 and running from myself no more. Together we will face it all. If I lose myself, I lose it all.
Hey, good morning. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Johnson, 19th ASOS Commander. So for me, upholding the TACP legacy is ensuring that there's not the second death. And what I mean by that is everybody has 2 deaths. It's when they leave this earth, and the second one is when we stop calling their name and when we stop remembering them. So this TACP 24-hour run, the 14th annual, is all about remembering those who came before us, remembering their sacrifices that they gave for this great country. You know, we take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, right, to uphold the American ideals. And with that, you're basically signing a blank check. And so, there's people that came before us that paid that ultimate sacrifice. And so what we do here is we make sure that that second death never happens, that they're never forgotten, that their Gold Star mothers and sisters and brothers, the families, they understand that we love them, they're supported, and that their family sacrifices and their lost loved ones are honored day in and day out. So it's about putting one foot in front of the other, reflecting on that, internalizing it, and anchoring on the why, the reason why we support and defend the Constitution, the reason why we do what we do day in and day out. Thank you.
I'm Staff Sergeant Madeline Jeffrey, and as someone who is not a TACP member, I get the opportunity to work with this unit and in this unit. I think it's an awesome opportunity for me to see this side of the Air Force and really kind of dive in and understand what it is that these guys do and the legacy that they carry and that they hold super close to themselves. I think it's awesome to remember all of the different things that the Air Force does and the people that have sacrificed their lives for those of us who are in this country and still carrying on the legacy behind them.
My name's Connor. First of all, to carry on the TACP legacy for me, well, I've seen a lot of different traditions, a lot of different cultures inside of what we do in the military as a whole, but with all the other different teams and different units out there, I'll say this is definitely one of my favorites that I've seen. We're out here for 24 hours straight doing what we got to do. Commander said something great today, Lieutenant Colonel Johnson, that really resonated with me. We were supposed to rain out here today. You know, it's not the best weather, it's really humid. And he said, while you're going through the suck, you just got to remember. You got to remember what these guys before us did. Because a lot of us, especially myself, I've only been at the unit now for a little less than a year. Only been in the military for just under 3 years now, so I haven't had a whole lot of experience, especially going downrange. I have none whatsoever. So the guys that came before me that actually got to pay that ultimate sacrifice and did the good work that needed to be done, that's why I'm here, and that's why it means a lot to me. Because if I get that chance someday, I hope that I can be as brave as they were. And don't know if that day is going to come, but until then, I can do my part, and this is what I can do, and that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, my name's Harrison. Kind of like Connor said, he hit most of it, but a lot of us guys, me being in like 7.5, 8 years, are peacetime TACPs. So just being able to show up, know our roots, know what came from, see the badasses that gave it all, and at least just gut it out for 24 hours means a lot. It's the least we can do for the guys that got to actually go downrange and get after it. We can just show up and put out for 24 hours and show our respects to them.
I'm Senior Airman Jake Lepak. To me, upholding the TACP legacy is doing hard things in remembrance of the guys that came before us. One thing we can always do no matter where we are is hard things, and I believe something like the 24-hour run is just that, doing something pretty tough and pretty miserable in remembrance of people that passed before us. Helping Mrs. Fatley out, I believe was really beneficial to not only me, but her. I know she enjoyed spending time with us. She says how much she loves the 19th ASOS and the TACP community. And I think it's a great way to come around and support her through tough times, and just show her that we still care, still remember her son, and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Master Sergeant Jason Waters at the 19th ASOS. Been TACP since 2013. TACP legacy to me it's one of those things that when you're in the military, no matter what job you have, you're always going to represent for that job. But TACP, you're going into a dangerous career field. You're going into a physically demanding career field. That's not just at the pipeline for tech school. That's also when you graduate, go to the ASOS. The physicality of the job doesn't go away. I'm 42 years old. I got 2 years left, and I'm still doing everything I need to do and keep my body in shape for that. And that's the legacy to me, so that I don't forget and I don't fail for the guys. I don't forget about the guys that came before me and did it, and I won't let the guys next to me down because I can't do something, whether that's physical or knowledge-based. So the TACP career field as a whole is not an easy job. It's a dangerous job. It's fun, it's rewarding, and it's one of those things that when you retire, I got 2 years left in the military. When I retire, I'm going to be wearing a TACP hat, representing for TACP and continuing that legacy, and I'll still show up to events like this. But the legacy is, you don't forget about the people that did the job before you. You don't forget about the fallen that have done this job and aren't with us anymore. That's the TACP legacy to me, is just representing from now until I leave this earth too, even as an old man, I hope, and just be represented forever. And that's the thing about, again, TACP is this job's not easy. It's fun, but it's rewarding. But again, guys and gals that come in this career field, they know it's dangerous. So it's very noble for anyone to come into this career field and don the beret because I know what they're getting into.
What's our main auditorium called? Fatley Auditorium, right? So Jason Fatley, today's actually his birthday. Would have been his birthday back from 1979. Also, this year marks the 24th anniversary back in March of his death. And a lot of you might not know, some of you were here a couple years ago, but we had Miss Sue Fatley here in the middle. This is Jason's mother. Very special guest here today. We want to present you with some flowers from the unit. We also have Jason's cousins, Sarah and Janelli, with us. So today, Sue's here for opening ceremonies. Make sure you all greet her, give her some love. We got some guys that are going down to the cemetery today down in Nashville with her to visit Jason. So we're honored to have you here, ma'am. It's good to see you again. A lot of new faces that you haven't seen.
I love my TACP. I love them. Every one of them. And I'm happy to see the women here. Good for you.
But it's good to have you here again, ma'am. We love you. Thank you for coming.
Sir, don't sit down.
Oh, okay.
Wanted to come from the heart, and the reason being is because we got special guests. You know, I've always said there's 2 deaths that everyone has, and hopefully the second one never comes. And it's why we do what we do every first duty day of the week. What do? Push-ups. It's not an end of the week thing. It's not a once every while thing. You gotta stay anchored to your purpose. You gotta stay anchored to those who walk before you. The boots that you walk in, the giants. 2 deaths. One when they leave this earth, they go on to heaven. And the second one is when you stop saying their name and you stop remembering. And you forget about the sacrifices of those that came before you. And that'll never happen at the 19th ASOS. That's not the standard for the Antidotes. Ever. It's up to y'all to keep that going on. And every single ASOS you go to thereafter, to keep that going on. Because we never want that second death to happen. Ever. When you're out there over the next 24 hours, the sun starts beaming on you, maybe you might catch a little bit of rain, you might start to suck a little bit. What should you do? Remember, Hayden, you did a freaking bang up job. That is the best display I've ever seen in my military career. And you did that on your own initiative. Thank you for that. You honor not only the fallen, but you honor the family here, and you honor this squadron, because you set the standard high, and you continuously do that, so thank you. For everybody that came out here and set this up, thank you as well. This is a very professional looking setup for the TACP 24-hour. We're not some dirt track. We don't have things sitting on the ground. We are honoring, we're giving our best to those who fell before us. Take pride in that. 0.45% get to raise their right hand. This is a privilege. This is a privilege, ladies and gentlemen. Not everybody gets to do it. Reflect on it. Have some introspection. Reflect on it as you put in mile after mile after mile. It's why we're here. And dang, did the timing just align with the PD that we just had for the last 2 days of why we take the oath to support and defend the Constitution. This flow of events is special. Internalize it. Remember it. It's transformational. Thank you for what you do. Sincerely. Thank you. And thank you to the families. Y'all sacrifice just as much as we do. Thank you to the veterans that are here still supporting. Thank you to the contractors, the GS employees supporting. Gratitude. Just thank you. That's all I got.
Jason was picked on all through school. They called him failure and a few other choice words. But anyway, there was a summer that he was in his room. He was 15. He had no friends, no one to talk to. Even though we lived in a neighborhood where there were nothing but kids that age. And he just stayed in his room and he read. And he just thinking constantly. And the following year he joined the Sea Cadets. And he went through training with them. He went to the Great Lakes for 2 weeks of training. It was just young kids, 15, 16 years old. And I think that's when he got in his mind that he was going to be the best that he could be. And he took up cross-country running and did all that. But I think that helped him when he came in. But he was at a bar one night with his best buddy. And the buddy saw this young lady sitting there. Now, they're in their early 20s. And Scott goes over and sits down next to her and strikes up a conversation. What the woman failed to tell him was that her boyfriend was there. And this dude was huge, and he came over and he called Scott out. And Jason got up off his chair and turned it around and straddled it and just leaned on the back of the chair and watched. At the end of the night, Jason told the bouncers, "Step aside and I'll walk out of here." He says, "If not, you guys are going down too." And he cleaned that part. And that was just his mentality. He was the best at what he did. He pile drived his brother one night. He drove up here for Brian's 21st birthday. Drove up to Pennsylvania because they were all going out. I just had a hysterectomy. I couldn't join them that night. But they were at this bar. And Brian decided to kidney punch Jason. And y'all saw Brian's pictures. He ain't little. And Jason said, "Don't do it again." And Brian did it again. And Jason picked him up and head right into the cement. I don't know why he didn't break his neck. I don't know why he didn't kill him. And then when he was down on him, he just took his boot and kicked him. And went over and said, "See ya." Walked over and got in his car and came home. But that was his mentality. He was the best. He wanted to be the best at whatever he did. Because he realized how cruel kids can be. And he realized it wasn't their fault that all kids go through this stage. Every one of us, where you pick on the smallest person or the biggest person, and you just make their life miserable because it's bullying. We all now recognize it as bullying, but back then they didn't. It was just kids being kids. And Jason made himself into the person that nobody's gonna hurt my friends no more. And that was his mindset. Sorry you missed him. He was a good kid. He just took after me, only a bigger version.
19 ASOS! Down the back! Down the back! Bradley Smith! Homicide Sergeant Andre Berkeley! Down the back! Andre Berkeley! Homicide Sergeant Jacob Frazier! Down the back! Jacob Frazier! Homicide Sergeant Jason Bailey! Down the back! Jason Bailey! Homicide Sergeant Brian Haley! Down the back! Brian Haley! Homicide Sergeant Timothy Officer! Down the back! Timothy Officer! Homicide Sergeant Weston Cooby! Down the back! Weston Cooby! Homicide Sergeant Stephen Hockman! Down the back! Stephen Hockman! Homicide Sergeant Joshua Galloway! Down the back! Joshua Galloway! Former Chief Warrant Officer 2 Dennis Hay! Down the back! Dennis Hay! One for Major Gregory Stone! Down the back! Gregory Stone! One for Major David Gray! Down the back! David Gray! Recover!
I can feel it.